Good morning, everyone. I guess it's morning over here right now. Today's July 26th?
28th.
28. Time flies when you're having fun. My name is Adam Metzger. I have here a special guest. His name is Eric Fitzgerald. Eric, I've known you for quite a while now.
Yes.
And it's such a great opportunity to sit down here and talk to you. And maybe you can just kind of introduce yourself for a few minutes.
Love to, Adam.
Moments.
Yeah, I'm Eric Fitzgerald. I'm a realtor here in Des Moines. I've also been a real estate investor for a good number of years. Before that, I was the VP of sales for an educational publisher. So I sold software and books to schools and libraries, had a team of about 100 people across the country. Loved that job, but corporate got old, so I'm very excited to sort of be driving my own destiny through real estate.
Yeah.
And working here in Des Moines, and that's how you and I got to meet.
Nice. And how long have you been driving your own destiny? I like that phrase.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, I guess even when I was working for a company, I was focused on it. So
Nice.
Investing all that I could in real estate, stocks, mostly real estate and stocks.
Nice. Very nice.
So I got late to Bitcoin, and I need to get that figured out. It's still a little bit beyond me, but I want you to teach me.
It's never too late to get into Bitcoin.
I love it.
Never too late. And I actually did a few skids about it already, and that's part of what I'm gonna be also doing.
Yeah.
This pod or whatever we want to call this.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be talking a lot about Bitcoin, so we can definitely touch on it today.
I'd love to learn more.
Yeah. For sure. But before that, so you own some property and
Yes.
You invest in real estate.
Yep.
You have some corporate background.
I do.
Sales as well.
Yes.
Seems like a very good combination of all sorts of...
Learned a lot.
Yeah, that's nice. And then recently you became a real estate agent.
I did.
Wow.
I've been a real estate agent about a year.
Nice.
Really enjoy that. I've been on both sides of the table at a lot of transactions, so now I guess I sit in the middle of the table.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm curious, what got you to get in to brokerage basically versus just keep kind of working on investing or opening a business? Or
I guess that's a multidimensional answer. One is I'm buying and selling real estate frequently. And so there's a cost savings there, which in no way would justify getting a license or keeping a license, not even close. I also wanted to get some more visibility, sort of get early previews of properties coming up.
Very fair.
I guess the other big thing is in my corporate job, I did not like the job, but I loved the work. And what I mean by that is helping people, helping communities.
Yeah.
The working for someone else is not fun. But the work that we did made an impact on people. And I thought, and I've already had some great stories with real estate where I've been able to help families to find homes. I consider myself a problem solver. And so in real estate, there's a whole bunch of people telling you can't do it, it can't be done, that you don't conform, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've been able to really build a group of financial resources, insurance, all partners that have been super helpful in overcoming challenges for customers, and that means a lot to me. I also have been focused a lot on first-time home buyers, and like you, doing this podcast, you're putting it out there to help others and to educate people.
Right.
First-time home buyers is all about education and letting people helping people to understand buying a home is the first step on your path to financial independence.
I totally agree with you on that.
So
totally
it kind of grabs that piece for me.
Yeah. What do you think? Let's talk about that for a few minutes. First time home buyers. What are the biggest fears you see out there, and what really stops people from kind of moving forward? What are the kind of blockages or walls that people put in front of them? Maybe that. We try to kind of tip and show them the door, the way to just kind of come over here.
I think there's a couple key aspects. I guess you've heard me talk about, in investing in real estate, you make money four ways. The cash flow is the least powerful, least interesting way you make money in real estate.
I like it.
And it's all anybody ever talks about. you really have to do the same analysis on buying your first home. People talk about basically the reverse of cash flow, which is my rent is $1,000, and for me to buy it, I have to come up with all this money. Then I have to pay $1,200.
Yeah.
And when the furnace breaks, I have to fix it.
Right.
Right? So people are saying, well, it's cheaper for me to rent, which in a lot of markets is true. Des Moines, it's kind of a wash, but some markets, it's really upside down. But in general, there's that issue. And I don't think people are realizing there's tax benefits, there's appreciation, there's paying down your mortgage. There's all these other ways you're making money that are less obvious.
I like what you said about the... before with that, there's a lot of psychology also. I think a big part of it is just the psychological aspect of it. It's known buying a house is your biggest bill you'll ever... biggest purchase, After that, I believe it's a car. And so there's a lot of emotions and a lot of fears that come with it.
There's risk.
I think it's fear mainly.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
For sure.
Yeah. And then you said something was interesting about the education and how do we get them over the hump?
Well, there's a couple other issues that I think
the cash flow part.
There's more psychology too. So there is the cash flow thing and not understanding all the dimensions of the financial ramifications. The other one is just listening to their parents. And I don't mean that disrespectfully.
Of course not.
But when I was training sales reps, through the years, I've probably trained 300, 400 sales reps. And one of my lessons is that you have to disregard what your mother taught you is step one. You have to ask strangers, how much money do you have and will you give it to me?
Right.
To be a successful salesperson.
True.
And you have to do that in a way that doesn't put their guard up and doesn't make them feel uncomfortable. And you have to be looking out for their best interest and be taking care of your customers' needs.
Right.
But unless you ask how much money do you have and will you give it to me, you will not be successful.
Yeah.
It's not all that different when you're buying a house as a first-time buyer. There are things your mom taught you or dad that you sort of have to challenge, right? Like, you have to have 20% down. You have to. You're not in a financial. Your credit has to be perfect. Blah blah blah.
Right.
And the truth is, right now, like in Iowa, there's just a fantastic first-time homebuyer program that they'll basically put a silent second mortgage on the house. In other words, they'll give you a 6% loan. You only have to put 6% down or 5% down, so 1% can go towards closing costs. And they put a mortgage on the back side of your home that you don't make any payments on and has zero interest.
Wow.
So only after you've built equity and you sell the house or refinance the house, sometime in the future, you pay back exactly what they gave you.
Wow.
With no cost.
No cost. That's amazing.
So it's free money.
That's amazing.
And so here you have basically $0 in or darn close. You've bought a house. Let's say it appreciates $10,000 a year for 5 years. You've now made $50,000 on $0 investment, or really close to zero.
Incredible.
You can't do that any other way.
Right.
And so if you're not, as a new home buyer, if you're not doing that, you're missing just this massive jumpstart in your life financially.
Yes. I also say that buying a house gives you more control on your financial life, because you don't have a landlord that can raise your rent.
Yes.
Granted, property taxes go up and insurance goes up, granted, but you get some other upsides there, of course.
Yep.
So you control, and then the other thing is moving is really costly. And once you buy a house, you don't move as much, and moving is very costly. And so I think it's a way to control your financial expenditures in a sense.
Yeah.
And so I really believe in home ownership. Do you think so? So before that, we also kind of mentioned like some people it's better for them to rent, some people it's better for them to buy. What's the criteria? I think for
the sort of break point between those two. I mean, when people say I may not be here in 3 years,
exactly,
right? That's one. I want freedom to leave and move on to the next thing.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times I've had people say my lease doesn't end for 9 months. I can't do anything for 9 months, right? So is it that different? I can sell a house in 1 month. My lease has got me locked in at a period that's been agreed to. Now, can I break the lease? Sure.
Right.
But most people do the right thing and follow through with their commitments. So to me, as far as being mobile, owning is not more difficult than renting to a large degree.
Right.
And to your point, I get to leave with some equity and some money in my pocket as opposed to out of pocket.
Yeah. I think buying a house is a must for people that's right for them.
Yeah.
That are gonna be in a place for at least 5 years, I say.
Yep.
And then the forced savings account, the loan that you take, it's just a magic. It's magical. It's something magical about it. Taking a loan and paying it down and building that equity.
Yep.
That's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
That's where the magic happens.
They talk about the American dream, right? It's two, a spouse, kids, a dog, a picket fence, and a house, right? It's all in every story. The place, the setting is one of the most important pieces of the story. Mm-hmm. And buying a house is setting your story's scene.
Yeah.
The American dream relies on, and the U.S. government, like people don't realize that are not from the U.S., they don't realize that the government has been fulfilling this promise for forever. Mm-hmm. The fact that they back loans to give banks, banks write the loans, but the U.S. government, in essence, is backing and taking the risk out of that loan for the bank.
Right.
Making it so much, by buying those loans
Freddie
and
Freddie Mac,
yep,
Fannies,
yep, they're guaranteeing that risk that bank has no risk.
Right.
The reason they do that is they're fulfilling the American dream promise.
Yeah.
But you have to take advantage of it. You have to go out and do it.
Yeah, you have to take action.
Action first.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. So kind of maybe circling more to the investment side of things.
Yeah.
You said something about cash flow and how that's what everyone talks about all the time. But I heard something really interesting, actually, as it relates to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
This one guy put a video that was really interesting. Maybe I'll share it, of course, at some point. And he talks about how cash flow is basically just the reward for having a illiquid asset, because real estate is not so liquid as we know.
True.
And so that's what he mentioned there. And I thought that was very interesting. I think it's true, yeah. And so, there's that part.
I think that's a great way to look at it. It's also it's the safety net. Right? Uh-huh. If there's a financial shift in the marketplace or in your life, cash flow is what lets you. It's sort of the free pass.
Yeah.
You can have lots of investments in things that don't flow.
Right.
But if you need cash, you have to sell that asset. Cash flow is what lets you keep your assets and have a safety net.
Yeah. Cash flow is very important. There's no
very
doubt.
important.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
It's the security.
Yeah.
And I love what you said about it's sort of the reward for locking your money up.
Yeah, that's very true.
What else? Just in general on real estate, what other asset class can you borrow the majority of the cost? Mm-hmm. Like I said, if you're a first-time home buyer, and we should talk about house hacking.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Because house hacking is a blend between the American promise of making money easy for you to buy.
Steroids, yeah.
It's you as a personal American citizen getting those benefits.
Right.
Plus an investor.
Yeah.
And it's hacking because you're basically hacking this system that's built for you to have home ownership into also creating a financial wealth for your family.
So we know what house hacking is, but maybe for our listeners, maybe you can explain.
So house hacking would be anything that is 4 units or less. So you can do a single family, a duplex, a triplex, a quadplex. Mm-hmm. Anything that's 4 units or less qualifies as residential housing as long as you move in and live there.
Uh-huh.
So, like I said before, the U.S. government has these wonderful programs to make sure. I had a friend from Mexico say, "Hey, they're trying to get me to buy a house. They have this new thing called a mortgage. I just don't know."
Yeah.
Right? Their system is they just aren't into this process. They save the money and have to do it a different way than what we do. Uh-huh. So mortgages for a lot of the people around the world are a new thing.
Right.
And especially to have a government-backed mortgage is brand new.
Oh.
If it exists at all. Uh-huh. So house hacking is basically taking that system, buying a property that then you live there for at least 1 year, but you also have tenants.
Right.
So you could buy a 5-bedroom home and live in 1 bedroom, or you could buy a quadplex and live in 1 unit.
Right.
Or while you're or whatever, anything 4 or less.
Right.
You can get all those first-time homebuyer programs. All this stuff can be applied to it.
Yeah.
And then after a year, you can move out and get another loan as a homeowner, as long as you live there 1 year.
Nice.
So just to take it to the far extreme example,
Yeah.
if I were to do a house hack on a quadplex 4 years in a row, I can do it once a year. When it's all done, I own 16 units.
Wow.
All of those units are and I can keep that loan even after I move out. I can keep that owner-occupied loan status.
Nice, which is a great
which is
terms,
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Terms.
Yeah, it's lower down payment. It's going to be generally, an investor's generally going to pay about a 1% premium on their mortgage.
Right.
Because I'm owner-occupied, I get beneficial loan status.
Yeah.
So after 4 years, if someone were to take this to the extreme and go all the way 100%, no stops, and everything would have to work out perfectly.
Right.
It wouldn't happen. But
hypothetically,
you could own 16 units.
Yeah. And even let's say you reach 75% of that goal, you're still great. 12 units.
Yes.
I mean, whatever it comes out to, that's amazing.
And while you're living in the one unit, you're painting and you're tree trimming and you're cleaning up trash. Most stuff to improve real estate isn't that expensive. I mean, there's always obviously HGTV trying to sell flooring and paint.
Right.
But really, paint and trash removal, scrubbing,
like that's painting, like you said, cleaning, little deck, a little thing.
Yeah. A couple, you can watch TV or you could paint the bathroom.
Right.
Like same amount of time in the weekend.
Yeah. But sweat equity, basically.
Sweat equity.
Yeah. Sweat equity.
So
go sweat a little bit. Do something. Improve your property. Bring the value up.
Don't go to the gym.
Yeah.
Go paint the wall. Right. Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah. Cut a tree or something. Yeah. I just saw it with my boys.
Paint the fence.
We just looked at it. We just saw the movie.
Yeah.
That
love
was
it.
So cool. Yeah. Great movie.
So, but using that strategy, you've got somebody that can get to, let's say, 16 units.
Which is,
while they're living in the one, they're painting and cleaning. As soon as someone moves out of another one, maybe they move to that one and they are living in it while they're fixing it, and the nice one is pulling another $200 rent that they just were in.
Right. Amazing.
And they're just moving from door to door in their own property.
Brick and mortar.
And just, building it out.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and these properties are built to be profitable. Like a duplex or bigger is built to be efficient financially and make its owner money.
Right, built to use.
Yeah.
There's a certain use for it. There's a reason why they built the 4 units. And, because they can generate income.
Yes.
They can help offset the cost of operating the units and all that.
And all your expenses are going to be lesser. Right. You've got, a shared roof.
Right.
Property taxes per unit are going to be less than a single family home.
So true.
So all, insurance.
Certain mechanicals. Yeah, for sure. Very interesting.
So it's a more profitable building by nature and by design.
Yeah.
So, but think about starting, like, had we been 25 or, and done this for just 4 years, right? Like people think, oh, well, I need my dream home, right? My forever home is my first one.
Yeah, no. Right.
Never.
No
one ever buys a home and lives in it forever.
Right.
Maybe 4 years, 5 years on their first home, and then they're moving anyway.
Yeah.
So what if instead of doing that, you sort of bit the bullet, had the discipline to focus on growing your financial wherewithal, and did this 4-plex strategy
over and over,
just 4 years, then go buy your forever home, and you could actually afford it.
Yeah.
And it would be your forever home.
And
or
you'll
closer.
Still have assets to back, and you'll have the income and the appreciations, which we'll get into maybe soon. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting.
So that's house hacking. And the concept is that you live there, so you get beneficial financials, financing, and that you then are improving it and potentially moving on over time. So that's house hacking.
Yeah. Beautiful way to get into real estate and reduce the risk also. It's actually something I did back in 2012 when I bought my first house. We basically had a duplex and we rented the basement, and it was amazing. It pretty much covered most of our most of our hard costs, the mortgage, property tax, and some of the utilities. It really helped a lot.
And it doesn't have to be a crummy house either. Like to your point, I just sold and worked with a group buying a triplex in Sherman Hill.
Nice.
One of my favorite neighborhoods in Des Moines.
Beautiful neighborhood.
Super great neighborhood.
Beautiful.
Doing the math on it, they decided to go a different way as far as how they were going to use it. But I basically wrote some projections for them.
Like a pro forma type deal?
A pro forma based on different ways they could use the house and what it would look like financially. Nice. Had they moved into the 1-bedroom, there was a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and a 3-bedroom. Had they moved into the 1-bedroom, they could have lived there for just under $100 a month all in.
Wow. That's a hack. That's a house hack.
That's a house hack.
Wow. That's a house hack there.
Yeah, that's a house hack.
Amazing.
And then they could have taken the money they were paying for rent. They weren't living together, so that they could have saved on two rents.
Right.
If they would have just taken that money, they could basically they would have saved enough money every year to be able to do it again.
Yeah. Beautiful.
But it was a gorgeous home. It was a home I would live in.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like some crummy place.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So there's lots of ways to do it.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat.
There is. That's right.
Yeah. But you just got to start. That's the important part.
You have to start.
You have to start.
Yes.
You have to take action. You have to get uncomfortable in order to get comfortable.
Yes.
And people, I think, sometimes forget that or try to get comfortable without getting uncomfortable. And it doesn't really work like that. You have to get a little bit uncomfortable.
Also, I think most people are a little shocked once they've taken the step at how non-eventful the whole thing is, right? Like here I've done this thing where I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've taken this leap.
Yeah.
And I've jumped off the cliff, and it turns out the cliff was just a little step, and I landed instantly, and I'm fully on the ground, and everything's fine.
I love it. I love it. So I think that's a good segue to kind of, we talked about how you can use the house hacking and even get up to 16 units in a 4-year span. Do you think people should measure their success in real estate by a unit count or by how do we?
I love this question, Adam. Yeah. I will bare my heart to you, my friend. I set a goal that I wanted 50 units by 50 years old when I was about 44 or 43. I met my goal.
Nice. I exceeded it.
And significantly exceeded it.
He's being modest, and that's good. That's important. Go ahead.
Thank you. And I was so excited when I met that goal and realized, hey, I set a goal and I did it. And then I thought, what an idiot. Yeah. And I'm happy. I would do it all again.
Right, of course. It's part of the lesson. It's just
no
the lesson
regrets.
we got to go. Yeah, we'll go through. I went through the same lesson, but please continue.
So why?
Right.
I think it's super important that you set goals and that you try and meet them, but I think it's even more important that you set the right goals.
Yeah.
What does 50 units by 50 mean?
Right.
Nothing.
True.
I could have purchased a single house on the beach in Malibu that Airbnbs for $40,000 a night.
Right.
And had a gorgeous place to go visit. Obviously, I couldn't do that. That's an extreme example because I wouldn't be able to do it a piece at a time. I can't go out and afford even still to buy a house in Malibu. But conceptually,
right,
I would have been much better off to set a goal like I want to be able to replace 100% of my income working for someone else by X period of time.
Nice.
Or a more thoughtful goal that was focused on my end outcome as opposed to just numbers.
Like quality of life or time.
Yes.
Like you said, not having to go work for someone and clock in somewhere or having to, jump when someone asks you to jump.
That's right. Yeah.
Because that does happen in life, and we do need to do that when that happens, and it's our duty. But, it's not about the number of doors. I was also very, number of doors oriented. Mm-hmm. And then learn the hard lesson, exactly like you. But I think what's important for us and for everyone is to know how to pivot and how to realize that, wait, maybe that's not exactly the goal we should be after.
Right.
Maybe there's something deeper. Maybe there's something more meaningful out there, and it's not just the number of unit count.
For sure.
Yeah,
for
sure.
And I struggle, even though, I will admit to you and in front of all these nice people, it's still something I struggle with. When I see an offering in the marketplace that is a few units, high quality, I'm like, oh, that's not enough units for that price. And I have to stop and really think and say, well, that's not what you care about anymore.
Yeah, it changes.
But it's hard.
Yeah,
Changes, it's hard to change.
Yeah, it is. It is, for sure. And what other mistakes or lessons, let's call it lessons, there's no such thing as mistakes, in my opinion.
I would do it all again just like this. If I didn't know any better, I'd still do it.
Right.
Even knowing better, I'd still do everything that we've done.
What other lessons have you realized through your investing journey in real estate?
Well, as you and I have talked about, as my career has progressed, and I've gotten older, but my career as an investor and my career as a worker and all those things have sort of changed balance. My initial goal with real estate was almost 100% about building for the future. So building wealth and net worth for the future, not cash flow, and tax savings to offset other income that was happening.
Yeah.
Now I'm in real estate full time. And so my interest has changed, and so now I am more interested in cash flow, and tax savings is not as big a driver. And so it's just interesting to see how the lessons I learned and have applied are awesome, but I have new things to learn as far as optimizing cash flow as my primary goal.
Right. And you've been also very getting into and an advocate of tax savings, and maybe we can talk about that for a few minutes. What are some of the benefits of owning real estate?
Well, I think real estate, even before the current administration, real estate has always been one of the most tax-advantaged industries to be in.
Right.
It kind of goes along with that whole mortgage thing. Our whole system is built on people owning real estate and providing housing either for themselves or someone else. And so as a landlord and a property owner, you're in a position to really take advantage of a lot of tax benefits. You also pay a lot of taxes, but then you get it back on the backside.
Right.
But the big, beautiful bill, and before that, the Jobs and Tax Act from the first Trump administration had some really powerful functions within them for property investors.
Name one of them?
Probably the biggest is the bonus depreciation. And so you kind of stack a couple tax strategies together, and they're meant to be stacked. But in essence, you can take depreciation. So maybe I should back up. The four ways you make money as a real estate investor is cash flow, which is just simply I get $1,000 in rent, and it costs me $800 a month all in to pay to buy that opportunity. There's cash flow.
Right.
There's appreciation. So that would be if I own a single family home and the neighbor's houses are selling for $20,000 more, mine will be worth $20,000 more than it was last year. In commercial, there's forced appreciation, which is managing it as a business, increasing the profitability,
efficiencies.
Yes, saving money or raising revenue, and one of those, or both. There is pay down of your mortgage.
Right, huge.
Whether you're doing it yourself or your tenants are doing it for you, preferably.
Right.
And then the last one is the tax benefits, and that is basically going to be depreciation. So weird concept for people that aren't involved, because there's appreciation and depreciation.
Right.
Which one is true? And the beautiful thing is appreciation is what is actually happening. Your real estate is going up over time in value. Depreciation is what's called a paper loss. So it only exists in the tax world.
Just in the tax world, yeah.
And what you come to realize as you get more involved in this is paying taxes as an employee is your duty. Looking at what the government is trying to incent business owners to do, and then doing what they are asking of you through tax benefits, is another way to contribute to society.
Yes.
And so if they are worried about housing being in a shortage, they will give people an advantage to building housing of a certain category. They will give people an advantage to providing housing as an investor of a certain category. And so basically what this law does is really focus on getting people to invest in real estate, and it does that by bonus depreciation. So when you buy a home, there's kind of an easy button, which is that you just say 27 years, you divide the value of the house by 27 and a half, and then you can depreciate that much per year.
Per year, right. And it's basically just for the layman terms, it's basically you get to write off a certain amount. You get to depreciate it. You get to depreciate a certain amount every year while you own that asset, and there is a certain lifespan for that, 27 and a half years. Commercial, I think, is different.
35 or 32, I think,
And so you get to basically write it off.
Yep.
It's like an expense at the end of the day. That's kind of what it shows you.
That's right.
To offset any income.
It offsets income. Yeah. And so time value of money would say that if you could get all that sooner and redeploy that money as an investment into something else. So don't blow it. Don't go blow your tax savings on a trip, right? Yeah. Reinvest it in something.
Always. Compounding, super powerful.
Yes, compounding is super powerful, and time value of money. So for me to have my money, be in control of it now, so
and deploy it into something new
that makes money and pays for itself. Yes. So basically, you take what is in the big beautiful tax bill is the ability to take things and put them onto bonus depreciation.
That's an accelerated,
which accelerates it from 27 and a half years. So the first step is you do what's called a cost seg.
Yeah, cost segregation.
Cost segregation study or And so
I've never done it myself, by the way.
Yeah. It's there's 3 ways to do a cost seg. There's desktop software.
Okay.
There's a video. You can get an engineering firm that will do a video walkthrough at the property with you, all the way to they fly someone out and do a super detailed report.
Is there a right way to do it, by the way, in your opinion, out of those 3?
It depends on your risk profile.
Okay. Sounds good. What's the more like
the middle of the road one would be the one if you feel like if it's a normal property and you want to be relatively cautious on the tax approach, to do a video walkthrough with a real engineer and have them counting the windows and counting the refrigerators and the doors and calculating the roof area, actually seeing what flooring is in there, that to me feels pretty safe. You're going to pay more for that. The desktop system has a fairly safe record,
right?
But it does get challenged more than the other 2.
And then it's not as detailed. It's not like nitty gritty. Yes. And that's what they like. At the end of the day, you just have to have a position. That's what they say.
That's right.
I've never been audited, and I hope I won't be. But I heard that if you do, you just have to have a position.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, you're comply with. Don't try and you're trying to do what they are asking us to do.
Yes.
To help the U.S. economy get to where they want. That's right.
Yeah. To reinvest.
So don't play it. Don't cheat.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not cheating
if
to
they
do what they
ask you.
If they
give you an inch, don't take a yard. Take the inch. Take the inch to the exact point on the scale, you know, and don't go even 1 millimeter more. Just take that inch.
That's right.
Yeah, the people that try to take the yard, those are the ones who get into trouble.
And
I've met some of those also.
Me too. We all have. But in essence, what you do is you try. So instead of taking the whole building at all at 27 and a half years, you would say the flooring is X dollars worth of the building, the roof is X dollars worth, the windows, the doors, the furnace, the refrigerators, the sinks, the toilets. They all get broken into their own
lifespan
schedule.
Shelf life.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we all know a roof and flooring is going to last less than the rest of the building.
Right.
But it also goes as detailed as to say the wiring, the plumbing.
Yeah.
And so you basically document the whole building into component parts.
Yeah. Yeah. Break it
down. And then some of those component parts can be put on a 10-year, a 7-year, a 5-year, or a 3-year depreciation schedule.
Oh, okay.
And then in addition to that, the new tax law has bonus depreciation that I believe is anything under 10 years, you can take immediately day one. And so what you're doing is you can expect to get between 20 and 30% of the value of the building into your cost seg sort of discovery process day one. If you own that building for 27 years or 32 years, you would get the exact same amount of depreciation as doing this strategy. The difference is you get it all right now today, and you get the opportunity to redeploy the savings. But basically, you can write off about, let's just say, 25% of the building right away.
Wow.
And that is going to erase any income.
Yeah, and the beauty is you can also carry those depreciations, those losses. I think I'll call them losses, because at the end of the day, you kind of show
it's a tax loss.
Right?
Yes,
a tax loss.
Yes,
and you're able to carry it over to the next years.
That's right.
Which is amazing.
It's
also.
amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. So as a real estate investor, it gives you the opportunity to keep deploying money and to keep hoping to provide housing for your community, which is what ultimately they want you to do.
Right. And if I never did it before, am I able to do it now?
You sure can. Yeah, and I should say I'm not a lawyer at tax. But from my understanding, from my personal situation, I've been able to apply it to buildings I already owned.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what I heard. And I'm in the
Yep.
process of doing it. I think you referred me a nice gentleman. I'm gonna be talking with him here soon. And
Yes.
Yeah, that's exceptional program that the government provides for.
Yes. And it encourages more investment. Velocity of money. Think about the tax system, right? Mm-hmm. Money changing hands is where they get to ring the register. Right? Yep. And so the government, like giving you a tax break means that you put money into the economy.
Right.
They know that all the people you pay that money to, most of them are going to go spend it with someone else, and they're going to spend it with someone else, and they're going to spend it with someone else.
Like a network effect type deal.
Yes, and by the time it changes hands 4 times, they've made all the money that they were going to get out of you and more.
Yeah.
And so just creating velocity of money, the government, they've done the math.
Right.
They're not giving you anything. They're giving you something.
Yeah.
But they are going to end up profiting on that transfer of money from party to party over time.
Right. Now, something to keep in mind is it's better to do a cost segregation and do the bonus depreciation if you know you're going to keep the asset for a long period of time.
Yes.
If you're going to be kind of flipping it or holding it for 1 or 2 years, you'll have to do what's called a recapture.
That's right.
And then basically, whereas you basically like reverse those losses, and you just kind of have to take that back as an income, I guess, right?
Yes.
Something like that.
They get it in the end.
Yes. Important to know. They get it in the end.
They always get it in the end.
Exactly.
Always. There isn't a single thing where they aren't watching and they aren't going to catch it at the end.
Same with the 1031, which we might touch on also.
So to your and that's a great point.
Yeah.
So doing this cost seg, you are not saving taxes, you're deferring taxes.
Yeah, kicking the can down the road, which in the U.S. are the best at. We know how to do that the best.
We make it someone else's problem. But so then the next strategy is, you're right, you can't just go sell that property, because they'll recapture that savings in taxes back. They'll basically calculate it back as to what you took early and ask for it in the future. If you 1031 exchange, and that is the tax code 1031, it allows you to sell a property. You take the money and give it to a trustee, and they form a trust in your name that says, here's Eric's money for this property that he sold. And then I have some fairly tight time frames that I have to buy a replacement property in.
Right, the rules you have to follow. Yeah.
I have to identify in 45 days, and I have to close in 180.
Yeah.
Yes.
After the 45 or altogether? I think
Altogether 180.
Yeah.
So I have to identify the property that I'm replacing with, and then actually complete it.
Yeah. And then there's some debt. You have to have more debt, or at least the exact or more, or something like that.
You can't take any cash out, and you have to have the same.
Because they want to buy a bigger property again. That goes back to the whole, like, let's invest more. Let's buy,
Step up. You have to always up.
Yeah.
And so by doing that, you basically push what would be the recapture of this building into the next building. But don't worry, they haven't forgotten, and they will now do a recapture on that building if you ever were to sell it.
Interesting.
So you're always pushing it forward.
Yeah.
And it's always sort of on account how much you've pushed into the next building.
Interesting.
So the only way to get around that is to die, Adam.
Yeah.
And when you die, your basis resets, and your kids get to take it tax-free.
They get a step
Other than that, you and I have only one choice. Pay taxes or die.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But you can defer taxes over time. And I think the other piece is time value of money again.
Let's talk, what is time value of money to you?
Sure. So $100 in my pocket is worth way more than $100 a year from now.
Yeah, totally right.
That's it.
Yeah, true.
I can do things with $100 now that I can't do not having you owe me $100 in the future is not useful today.
That and also inflation, I don't know, brings me to inflation. You know, your $100 is worth more now, exactly like that.
Yes.
Because at the same $100 in a year is worth less.
Yes. And that concept also applies to the tax, because when I do this transaction, my tax, that puts a number of tax that I owe. You know, I owe $100,000 on that tax for that transaction. 10 years from now, a $100,000 tax bill is not going to feel as bad as it does today.
Right. Wow. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
That's so great.
So even if I did want to cash out and move to, you know, I'm going to be on the beach in the Caribbean, call me if you want to see me.
Yeah, I love it. How true.
And I have to pay that tax bill. At least it's locked in at a certain.
I have a whole new connections that you made up.
Exciting, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It's true.
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's how banks think about interest, right? We think about interest and inflation in a bad way as consumers.
Right.
Banks and other people are thinking about it over time, how powerful it is as a wealth building opportunity.
Right.
You also can do sort of savings through time value of money thinking.
Talk about that.
Yeah, just that that you lock in the taxes.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're saying got it.
Yeah,
for sure. Yes. Yeah, you can get those discounts or whatever. Yeah. You have the money now.
Yeah. The other way that you can make money that in a tax advantaged way in real estate is you never sell anything, or when you do, you 1031 exchange into the next bigger thing. But then over time, what you do is instead of selling, you refinance your money out.
Yeah.
And so one of the things the Biden administration was talking about when they were going through the election cycle was that they were going to start taxing refinances. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Because it's a strategy of the wealth.
Right, it's a non-taxable event.
Yes.
You borrow money against a property you own.
You've just converted an asset you have from one form, real estate, to another form, cash.
Yeah.
But you have not created any new value. But the Biden administration, because the wealthy will frequently have multiple assets that they refi. So the wealthy don't earn income as a percentage of their income, they don't earn income like normal Americans. What they do is they have assets and they can refinance those assets. So I can take a stock portfolio and take a loan against it and then put that money and then spend that money, and that's not taxable.
Right.
And I still own all those stocks.
Yeah.
I can do the same thing with real estate. I can refinance $100,000 out of a property, live on that $100,000, and pay zero tax.
Yeah, amazing.
Now, resetting the loan is going to cost me some cash flow.
Sure.
But that cash flow, if I were to take it out of the business and spend it, would be taxable. If I were to reset if I were to spend that cash flow paying back a loan, that's not taxable.
Wow. I'm learning a lot today, man. I'm serious. It's genius what you're saying. Yeah, of course. I never thought about that also.
Yeah.
So basically what I understood is you can refi. Yeah, you might cost you your cash flow, but it's non-taxable, and cash flow is taxable. So what a great strategy to pay less taxes.
You've encapsulated the income and the expense within the business, which is the real estate.
Right.
And you as a human person have not taken any profit.
Yeah.
Thus no tax.
Amazing.
Amazing. And that's a strategy the wealthy use most of the time.
Right.
So they would be refinancing different assets and taking the money out.
Yeah. It kind of brings back to me just the first-time home buyer, It just opens so many options. There's so many options once you get in the game, once you get a hold of an asset. And it just really opens up so many different doors.
For sure.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Really amazing.
And I think the other thing you and I have talked about is changing asset classes through these same activities. You could, I'm talking about refinancing for cash.
Right.
You could also refinance to buy crypto, to buy stocks.
Right.
And then you can, you can play between the different asset classes and take money from your stock account in order to buy real estate.
Yeah.
So you can sort of be rebalancing and repurchasing using these same strategies against all your asset classes.
Yeah, amazing. So maybe let's talk about diversification a little bit. Maybe now's the time to plug in some Bitcoin. We have another about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you kind of started dabbling with it at some point. What's your story as far as how did you discover Bitcoin and how did you kind of stumble upon it and what made you decide to get into it?
Yeah. For me, I don't have much of a story. I'm hoping that's what you're going to tell me when we meet next.
I'll be happy to.
I'd love to. For me, I've just done the ETF Bitcoins, which has been it's grown dramatically.
Nice. How long ago did you get into it?
When the day
ETF's about 2 years.
Yeah, I think the day they offered them, I bought a pretty nice chunk.
Nice. A more traditional way of doing it, which is great. I mean, like equity market, I guess.
But not anything like cold. I don't understand cold storage and all the things that actually owning Bitcoin.
Right.
The core owning of Bitcoin will get you.
The custody part of it.
Yes.
Yeah, custody. It's an important one. Yeah. I don't portray myself to be an expert, but I know enough to be dangerous, I guess. And I can tell you that I store my Bitcoin on what's it's called it's a cold storage, which means essentially that it's not connected to the internet. It's off chain. It's off any exchange, and it's off even off the computer. So there's nothing that can connect to it and kind of drink it out type deal. And it's a paper wallet. So basically you can go online and there's an encryption and you create those wallets. You can create 1, you can create 10. Doesn't cost you any money. And then basically you have a public address and you have a private address as well. The public address is what you use to send the Bitcoin and to give it to the public if you need to, say, receive a Bitcoin. So that's the address you use. That's the public address. And the private address is basically an encryption that through decryption, you can sweep it into an exchange or a different wallet and then basically move it that way. I use that one. I love it. The whole concept of custody is very interesting. And I think it ties to real estate also in a sense. I mean, I can tell you for me, one of the reasons why I always wanted to kind of get into real estate or love real estate is because I'm a control freak, okay? And I want to make sure I control, I feel like in investing, the more you can control in a sense, the better, because then your risk management and, is much different. So, in real estate, we can control who's we're renting to and what color we put on the walls and how good of a condition we want our property, and we know we can improve it to get more value and get a better rent and get a better tenant and all that kind of stuff. And so with Bitcoin, you get a lot of control also.
Right.
A lot of control. Because essentially it can be completely yours and completely in your control. And there's no third-party dependency on anyone, no bank, which also begs and brings a whole new set of rules and responsibilities. And let's be honest, most of us are physically irresponsible, and I'm one of them. I am, and real estate also helped me a lot with that.
Yeah.
Because you shove the money there and you can't touch it.
Right.
That's very important. Because if it just sits in the bank account for me, I just go and spend it.
Sure.
I just don't have that discipline. And I have a feeling a lot of the people that listen are kind of like me. So with the self-custody, you are 100% responsible for everything. And if you lose those passwords, yes, you lose the Bitcoin and no one's going to save you.
Right.
No one. And so that's something to definitely keep in mind.
Yeah, no plan B.
Yeah, no plan B.
You're it.
Yeah, you can make a plan B with yourself, which I did, like my trusted partners, people, whether it's my wife or some really good friends. I would give them, access to it, or they would know what to do in case I'm not here to do it or incapacitated or just not here to do it.
What's the tax implication of the gains in Bitcoin?
Yeah, there's just like capital gains. Yeah.
Okay.
Just capital gains. Yeah. Essentially.
And what would be the end game for you with Bitcoin?
To give it to my kids.
Okay.
Yeah. For sure.
So
it's a store of value.
Okay.
The end game is there's no end game. It's to keep buying and keep hodling and keep storing it and just keep building those sats, they call them. Now Bitcoin's at 118. You know, you need a bunch of cash to buy a whole one. So you can buy with 1,000, and every now and then you just have to nibble and keep nibbling and keep nibbling. It's basically the new saving technology. That's coming from Michael Saylor. He talks a lot about that. So everything I'm portraying out here is things that I've heard and I subscribe to. But it's a new savings technology. Back in the day, you used to save with gold, used to pay silver, precious metals, used to save with the dollar. Not a lot of people do that today, nor should they, in my opinion, because cash is trash. And so that's just a new savings technology.
You and I had a conversation a couple weeks ago about measuring the cost of a home. Everyone talks about how real estate has gone up so much,
right?
And housing is unaffordable for most people because of that growth in value. And I mentioned that I had seen a chart that showed the cost of an American home in dollars, but then also in gold. And to your point, Bitcoin and gold are kind of being used similarly.
Right. They're very similar.
Conceptually.
Right. Yes.
But the cost of the average American home is still the same amount of ounces of gold.
Yeah.
So I think it illustrates what you're saying, that the value of cash is going down more than assets are going up.
Right. That's true. And I think the beauty of Bitcoin is just it's a paradigm shift in many ways. And kind of like what you just said, it's not so much that the Bitcoin is going up. It's just that the value of the dollar is going down.
Yeah, when you measure it in dollars, it's going up dramatically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about the halving. I just know enough to ask that question.
Yeah, of course. So basically the halving is every 4 years. There's what's called the halving. A halving is basically they halve the amount of Bitcoin that's mined, that's basically printed, minted, up to 21 million. When it gets to 21 million, it stops, and that'll happen in the year 2140. The year 2140, there won't be any more halvings anymore. Until then, every 4 years, there's going to be a halving. Right now, we're at 6.25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, there's 6.25 Bitcoin that's being minted. And that goes to the miners that provide the power to the system, that do all the transactions and help facilitate the transaction. Check the blockchain, the ledger, certify it. That's like computations that take place, very high-level stuff. It's a protocol at the end of the day. They follow a protocol, and the winner takes it all. So the winner takes the rewards. And so the miners get 6.25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. In 4 years, less now, it's going to half. And just keep halving until the year of 2140, basically.
So all the increased computing power that's being applied to this process each day, each week, people are adding more capacity.
In a sense, yes.
It takes more and more of that capacity to produce the Bitcoin.
Yes, there's more competition. It's called hash rate. That's how they measure it. And hash rate has been higher than ever. The amount of miners, I think, there was a lot of consolidation there because it does take a lot of power and computation and machinery, and you have to have a good setup. It's not one of those at the beginning, you could do it in your basement and through the laptop, but now because the network is so strong, you need to have a little bit of more oomph over there to do those things. But yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So how does that play with your real estate investing?
I don't know that it does. I think for me personally, right now, I'm looking to kind of have less headaches. And I think that's how it plays.
Right.
Because Bitcoin, there's no broken toilets, and there's no city inspections, and there's no property taxes, and there's no depreciation. Not just depreciation of the
actual depreciation.
Actual wear and tear, exactly. Like things break, and you need the shelf life of a roof and all that kind of stuff. It's movable. It's very liquid, very liquid. It takes maybe, I don't know, if I'm slow, it takes 10 minutes to move it from the cold wallet to an exchange, and then 5 minutes later it can be in my bank account or in someone else's wallet.
Incredible.
Yeah, so I think for me, it plays in a way that it's just about kind of like asset allocation. Just very heavy on real estate now. Want to get leaner there and just kind of move to the real estate, to the Bitcoin, the digital real estate.
Right.
That's the way to look at it.
Yeah.
Digital real estate.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Well, good, Eric. I think we're kind of at the end here. Is there any final thoughts or messages or things that you'd like to kind of mention?
I think you really hit on it. It's the action part.
Yeah.
For a first-time home buyer, sort of starting there, there are programs that you don't have to have a lot of down payment to take action. Good credit is helpful. There's ways to actually fairly quickly fix your credit.
Right.
And it can be worse than you think, and you can still get a loan. The one thing that you need to get into real estate is income. The ability to repay is not something you can massage like the other two. There's 3 parts to getting approved for a loan, right? Your credit worthiness, your down payment, and finally your ability to repay.
Or income, yeah.
Ability to repay or income is not something that can be massaged easily. Right. There are a few programs, but that's the one you need to focus on. If you're a young person,
which I think anyone should focus on that regardless.
Yes.
Like it shouldn't even be just for that. Like make sure you focus on your income because you can buy assets and you can invest through receiving income. You have to get income. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
So that's that, and then the other one is if I were young, I would absolutely house hack. If you house hack just a few times, as we discussed, it can be super powerful.
Beautiful.
And then as you move up the chain as far as investing, set good goals and make sure that you're working towards something that actually serves your older self. And as you are doing that, make sure you're paying attention to the tax implications, because that can be 25 or 30% greater yield on your investment, which anyone would take.
Yes, any day of the week.
Right?
Yeah.
I get started.
Yeah.
Get started.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I love it.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, thank you so much to you. I really appreciate you taking
me.
the time, and I think we touched about on a lot of different good subjects. Yeah, definitely the action part. The psychology, there's just a lot of psychology behind the day-to-day investing or, kind of getting into that world. But yeah, got to take action.
Yeah, love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man.
Pleasure, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Thank you.